fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to the official District 40 podcast. My name is Johnny Randolph, and I'm going to turn it over to my next co-host.
Well, good evening, District 40. This is Althea Latang, and I'll turn things over to Don.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm Don Schulze, and I'll turn it over to our final co-host.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Doris Hibbler, and I am going to read our mission statement.
Yes,
It is no different from our Toastmasters mission, pretty close to it. Our mission statement is to educate and entertain our listeners and viewers by providing a positive and supportive experience to help our listeners and viewers develop stronger communication and leadership skills. Like I
love
said,
it.
no different from the Toastmasters mission. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Good.
Wonderful. On this Taco Tuesday, the weather's beautiful.
Taco Tuesday.
Oh, we are having tacos tonight.
Oh, see, perfect. Yeah.
I had them last night. I was off.
Oh
a
man,
day
by
off.
one day.
A
Your
day
day
off.
So,
Well,
since it's
Althea, what is our word for today?
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we do the word of the day, I think Johnny was trying to say
Well,
something.
I was just going to say,
Oh, I'm
since
sorry.
it's gotten warm outside, do we think summer is here?
I feel it
Day
is.
coming up Monday. So do we think
Yes.
we are into the days of summer here pretty soon?
Ready for the cookouts. Yes.
I don't know. I'm going to wait for Memorial Day to tell.
Don't
I
you
was
jinx
about to
us,
say,
Doris.
Right,
Don't you do it.
I know. I don't want to jinx us, but I
don't think
can't
could
trust
handle-
Ohio.
Yeah, I don't think I could deal with another cold day. I just don't.
No,
I don't-
I'm over it.
I'm
I'm
so
over
over
it.
that too.
Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed. No, I think spring has sprung for real.
Okay, good.
I think the coldness is gone for the next 6 months,
Hopefully.
Yay.
and we're in the clear, heading forward to summer.
So I can put my boots away for real.
Correct. Sweaters,
Yes.
coats.
Put my
Pack
coat
away.
and sweat and
I
boots
think you
away.
should do it regardless, like just
Okay.
to put that energy out into the universe.
I
Yeah,
like that.
Hopefully that it will reciprocate, and you just you don't even look back.
I
Now
agree.
that's a good idea. That's
I
what I'm
agree.
doing.
All right. So I think we can now talk about the word of the day. So, as with our Toastmasters meetings, with the podcast, we love to introduce to our listeners and viewers a word of the day. And today's word is eponymous. 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 It's an adjective. And the definition for the word, referring to a person, is giving their name to something. So an example of utilizing this word is the Toastmasters eponymous character gave him the competitive edge to win the first place prize in the speech contest. So for all of our podcast co-hosts and our guests, their challenge today is to utilize the word of the day. And we have our word of the day assassin, Don Schulze, here. So I'm ready.
This is a hard
count.
one.
No, I have full confidence in you, Don, that you can do this.
So are you calling it the eponymous word of the day?
See, there it is. Already.
Did you all hear the chime?
Yeah.
I
heard it.
did. That sounds
You have
good.
the chime. Okay. So if one
Yes.
of our fellow co-hosts uses the word, we'll hear.
There
All
it is.
right. Eponymous.
Eponymous. I'll put that in the chat for our
Eponymous.
viewers as well.
It's a good word to say.
It
Eponymous.
is.
And
It
it
almost
makes you
reminds me of
sound smart.
hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. Yeah.
It makes you sound smart, like the eponymous character.
Yes. That's right.
Correct. Yes.
Well, guys, let me ask you. We have about a month to go in the program year. How are your clubs doing, moving towards their end of year goals? Anybody with
well.
anything special?
For our Rise Higher Club, we had 2 new guests on Saturday,
Nice.
and both of them joined. So we were really
Awesome.
excited about that. Yes.
Yay. Are we currently in beat the clock season right now?
Yes, I think so, right?
May,
Mhm.
May 1st through June 30th,
Yeah.
right?
So you guys are well on your way, Don. Good job.
There you go.
Way to get things started.
Beat the clock.
We had an open house, a couple weeks ago at
Mhm.
Reynoldsburg, and we got 3 new members. So
Ooh, nice.
Woo, shout out
And
Reynoldsburg.
Althea's
Yes.
actually one of our new members to join our
Yes.
club.
I did
Good
join
for you.
Reynoldsburg. Yes, indeed. So I was a member. I still am actively a member of a corporate club. I'm just no longer with that organization, but it's been a challenge for our club since COVID to maintain membership levels because of work expectations. A lot of our folks are just not available to attend meetings on a regular basis. So it's definitely been a challenge for the club to maintain our membership levels at a satisfactory level. So hopefully, you know, they can work things out as an organization to really revive the Toastmasters Club, because it made a great difference. It really helped me as a young leader coming up in the organization, and helped me to build my confidence in my leadership skills. So I'm hopeful that they'll be able to turn things around soon.
And as a testament to Reynoldsburg and Rise Higher, even though we're close towards the end of the term, there's still time. So all you clubs out there that may be on the cusp of needing an extra member or
Yeah.
an extra goal, there's still time.
Still
Don't give up.
Absolutely.
Never give up.
Absolutely.
Never, ever, ever give up.
I love your
Correct.
eponymous optimism there, John.
Yes, there it is again.
There we go, there we go.
Where's the chime? There it is. I love it.
All right. So Althea, ma'am, do we have some guests in waiting?
You know what, Johnny? We just figured, hey, well, how about just bring on 2 guests again for the month of May? So we have some up and coming leaders that will be joining our podcast episode this evening. So bear with me as I read their bios. So first, I'd like to introduce to everyone Sydney Osborne. Sydney has been a member of Toastmasters since 2021. Him and his wife are both Toastmasters. He is he's an active member in his local church community of Grace Christian Fellowship. He holds a bachelor's degree in chemistry and has worked as a chemist for the last 13 years. And he's currently pursuing his master's in data science and business administration. So he has a great passion for service, for data science, and for business. As with a lot of us, Sydney originally joined Toastmasters to learn how to speak publicly and to have these things that he learned in Toastmasters support his professional goals. He stayed in Toastmasters because of the people and the opportunities that he had to serve his membership in various roles that he served within his club. For the 2023-2024 program year, I can't believe we're already there, but Sydney will be serving as Division A Director for the Dayton area. Yes, so that's our first guest. Our second guest is Sarah Sturgeon. And Sarah rejoined Toastmasters in 2021 after taking some time off to dedicate to being a mom. She has a master's degree in applied statistics, so we have both a chemist and a statistician with us this evening.
Nice.
So I need to sound and appear that I'm smart and know what I'm talking about.
Eponymous.
Right.
We'll say that even if we're using it correctly, we'll just say eponymous. It's
Eponymous.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. Thank you for having my back, you guys. Amazing. So she has her master's degree in statistics and refreshed her data skills by completing 3 months full-time data science boot camp in early 2022. Wow, that's pretty awesome. In 2023 of January, she rejoined the workforce and is a credit risk analysis with Fifth Third in Cincinnati. Sarah joined Toastmasters early in her career to improve her ability to persuade her colleagues and your executives to get analytical results as she was preparing there. She also rejoined in 2021 because she was rejoining the workforce there. She quickly discovered that Toastmasters had the perfect sweet spot of meeting others who are interested in improving their leadership and communication, and people who love learning and love challenging, as Sarah loves to learn and challenge herself to grow as a Toastmaster. So Sarah will also be joining the Division Director Community and will be serving as Division E Director for the 2023-2024 Toastmasters year. She and her husband, I'm sorry, I think I misspoke, I apologize, but the Division E area is, I guess, represented in the Kentucky area, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I do apologize for the mix up there at the end there, but please join me in welcoming to our podcast episode this evening, Sydney Osborne and Sarah Sturgeon. Well, welcome to our podcast. How are you guys doing this evening?
Splendiferous. Thank you so much for having us tonight.
Well, the
Splendiferous.
scientists just come out the bat with
Right.
splendiferous. I like it.
I
like it.
love that.
That is our word of the day, splendiferous.
Okay, so Sydney has taken over. Our new word of the day is splendiferous.
Splendiferous. Another good word to say, splendiferous.
Absolutely. So I'll turn things over to my podcast co-host to see if they have any questions for our guests this evening.
So I have a question. It could be for either or both of you. Is what motivated you to run or put your name in for division director this year?
I can speak to that. I'll go first. I had a chance to serve as the first data scientist for the district and help with some analysis. And I got to know Lavinia Boyer really well. And she inspires me on so many levels in her personal life, in her professional life, and in her Toastmasters life.
Mhm.
And I had been an area director this past year, and I've held various positions, including president of my club. And being in Cincinnati, I kept watching Division E, and they didn't have a division director last year. And my heart just broke because I know that there are people who want to learn and who want to grow in Division E. And for them not to have leadership, it really hit me hard. I served as an area director under Sue Schindler, got to know her really well. She inspired me also. She persuaded me that I could jump into the division director role, and I decided to go for it. So it was a combination of being inspired by both Sue and Lavinia. I really want to help District 40 grow, and I really am excited to see what we can do in Division E. And we have a lot of great people who have a lot of great ideas already. So I'm excited for the year.
Thank you.
Nice.
How about you, Sydney?
I believe it's a complicated question to answer, Don
Ooh.
and co-hosts. It's really not the
splendiferous. It's a
Yeah.
splendiferous answer.
splendiferous, yes.
I love that.
Long or short, I just love Toastmasters. I joined back in March of 2021 as a member in Dayton Toastmasters Club in Division A.
Mhm.
Met Stephanie Richardson, met some of my other fellow Toastmasters, Drew Parker, Scott Robinson, past district director Shirley Stallworth. Shout out to you guys, love you all. And Dayton Toastmasters. And about a couple months in, they were changing the guard in July, and I decided to join and try my hand at being a sergeant at arms because it's a pandemic. We were online then, so I thought just gotta count votes. Why not? Little did I know that two things would happen. The first thing was sergeant at arms. We probably sometime around mid 2021. I forget exactly when. We transferred back to not in person, but a hybrid club.
Mhm.
And as many of you have served in that role probably know, being a hybrid club sergeant at arms may well be the most intensive
Mhm.
form of officer you can have in your club. Now, if I can do that, I can do a division directorship.
That's right.
But so fast forward from there to 2022 when we changed the guard, I decided to serve as club president and an area director in a couple of spots, and all that put together because I realized not only did I want to develop public speaking, but also I desired to try and learn some leadership skills. And serving as an area director was a big adventure. And although I don't need it for my DTM, I decided to jump in the deep end of the pool, which is more or less my personal theme for District A or Division A, excuse me. And I decided, why not? I'll serve as Division A director simply because I want to. And coincidentally, fun fact, the original reason I joined Toastmasters was to learn to be a better speaker in general, but specifically to be a better speaker when presenting items for data science, because that's a career switch I've been working on. And it's something that evolved and ballooned, and now here we are. And I'm like serving as a Division A director. I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, but that's part of the fun of being a Toastmaster. You learn by doing.
Right.
That's how you learn, how you grow, for sure.
Pretty much.
Great, thank you.
As division director elect, you all will start the new term in July. What are you most looking forward to in your new position?
I think for me personally, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is getting to work together with some wonderful people. Some of them who have served in division leadership roles, such as Wendy Simmons or Jason Scott, Brenda Gaines, just Sarah Sturgeon, who I'm acquainted with now. So many wonderful people that I just love the people. The people are one of the, or at least half the reason why I stay in Toastmasters. And that is for me the biggest pleasure of the service, is getting to enhance lives for our members.
I have to agree with Sydney. It's definitely the people. I'm really looking forward to meeting people that I don't know. I'm certain that I'll gain at least 2 to 3 friends, if not more, over this next year. And the other amazing thing about Toastmasters is that opportunities just fall into our laps. Someone in my Division E has already sent me an email about being a judge for a 4-H speech contest in Kentucky, in Lexington. And I absolutely, one of my passions is developing teenagers and young adults. And I'm so excited because I never even knew this was an opportunity. And in June, I'm going to be able to go help develop some leadership in some children who are brave enough to enter a 4-H speech contest. And I'm certain that there will be more opportunities like this. So I'm very, very excited.
Thanks.
So what do you
I
got?
have a question. I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go
George.
ahead. No, go ahead.
So I just have a question. I'm the kind of person, I'm not big on science or math, but I'm more of a feelings person. So I enjoy words of affirmation and empowerment. I want to ask you to you kind of a little bit about your why, but is there a particular leadership or communication quote that kind of resonates with you, or help to inspire you as you move into a new role, as you guys will be division directors in the fall, or if you're looking at from a work perspective of something that's going to inspire you to bring a project forward or to move a project forward? Do you have a leadership or communication quote you'd love to share with us, and why that particular quote inspires you? And
So
Sarah,
I do have one that pops into my head right away. And it's a quote from Winston Churchill: never, never, never give up. And in data science, we're working with data sometimes, and we can't find anyone who knows anything about the data we're working with. So we have to dig into the data and explore it. And I almost feel that way going into the division director role. I don't know a lot about the 19 clubs that are in my division, and I'm really excited to meet the people. I'm excited to find people to be area directors for me. I have 4 positions that I'm looking for area directors. Would love to have very enthusiastic people join my team and develop their leadership. And I'm certain that we'll have tough spots. But, you just get through it. You never, never, never give up in any way, shape, or form.
Love it. Thanks.
I had to think about it. Oh, yeah. I had to think about it for a moment, but if I had to lock on to one quote that comes to mind, I think it's David A. Sinclair's famous quote: "Find the need and endeavor to meet it." Part of some of what we do in my industry is we have what this mindset called continuous improvement.
Yeah.
The idea is basically taking your process, whether it's financial or administrative or manufactural, and finding ways to either streamline it, eliminate defects, or to enhance it to make your throughput better. or even just taking the product you make or service you make and just overhauling it, making it something better. And that's something that data can actually help you do. And I think sometimes it can just be identifying a market or a niche or a need that you just didn't see before. Maybe helping someone learn a new skill. And I think that taking that mindset to Toastmasters is one guiding principle I think I will have when in my service to our fellow members.
Nice. That's a good answer. What do you guys know your leadership style? What is your leadership style, and how are you planning on either improving on that or maybe changing or to another one? We all have all of the characteristics of the leadership style, but we have one dominant. Do you think you're more authoritative or coaching, or what? Do you know what your leadership style is? Are you like a do it my way or the highway type, or?
So I remember when I was a division director, we had an assessment, and I think they used like the leadership compass. So your north are the folks who are the more dominant leaders. Your east, and any of you that have been to this training, just jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe your east are your more inspirational leaders, the visionaries, the ones that kind of see the bigger picture. Your South leaders are those who are steadfast. They believe in like a group think kind of atmosphere, I guess. And your Western leaders are more of the analytical, compliance driven type of leaders. So to Doris's point, there are some that we excel in or that we kind of lean more toward in our leadership style. There are others that we kind of stray away from. And as you start different roles, you kind of evolve. And you may possess all four of those in your leadership journey. So of that brief little description, what would you most identify with as far as your leadership style?
It's possible, and I imagine Sarah could probably speak to this too, but I am for myself, I am probably more of the analytical type of leader, maintaining the status quo, making sure all the boxes are checked, everything is done. But one reason I wanted to serve in district leadership is because I want to be all over the compass. I want to be a leadership chameleon, able to do what is needed. Step in if I know how something is done. Step in, get that task done. But I think it's kind of like what General Meade was during the Battle of Gettysburg. His leadership style is he got a bunch of his generals in the room and had a council of war to figure out his next move. He got a lot of information, a lot of input, and figured things out. Essentially, he led the Army Lee itself in that battle, but which was probably good because generals on the ground know sometimes better what was going on than he did. And I imagine my leadership style being something like that. But on the other hand, I might just throw up my hands and say, I don't know what's going on. I'll just go out and play in the backyard or something.
Yeah.
I like leadership chameleon. That's good.
I like that too. I love that. What about you, Sarah?
So I am definitely a collaborative leader. I think that many more minds than one definitely come up with a better solution. However, having said that, sometimes the group can get so big that you can't accomplish anything. So I think my personal challenge is going to be more decisive and to identify that place where I'm going to have to step in and make an executive decision without consulting anyone, without consulting the team, and just head in the proper direction. And I want to touch on something Sydney mentioned, which was fabulous, about the idea of constantly improving ourselves. James Clear has written a book called Atomic Habits. And probably the main idea that comes out of his book is when you're making a change, don't make it drastic because it probably won't last long, but try to get 1% better. So that's something that I would love our division to do over this next year. We don't have to do something drastic. I want to grow, absolutely. But if everyone on my leadership team can get 1% better, that would be amazing. One of my goals also is to find the young leaders in Division E. My dream would be that Our trio in 40 years comes from Lexington, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio.
Yes.
Love that.
I actually read that book. It's a really good book.
Yeah.
I need to add that to my list.
Yeah.
I like that 1% better.
I think it's
That's kind of
splendiferous.
attainable.
I feel like that's been my whole
Splendiferous.
my whole life story.
Well, it's kind of we used to have SMART goals where I worked at. It was like specific, measurable, attainable, reliable. And I know I'm messing it up. My spelling is. But
Timely.
it was the goal.
And
The idea behind the goals were to identify something that is obtainable and provide a metric on how to achieve that. And I think that's good for like morale. It's good for the organization, and it's good for everybody to kind of feed off each other. I've had problems in my past with just, kind of making those executive decisions that she was talking about without necessarily getting everybody's feedback. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as I've grown older, like you said, I've learned to grow my leadership style. And it's not a specific thing. A lot of times it's fluid, depending on situations, the people that are involved, and things like that. Whatever is needed to get the job done.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like what you're talking about is situational leadership. You got to put the right leadership characteristic and trait to that situation that you're dealing with. So I piggyback on what Johnny said. That was splendiferous, Johnny.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right. So Althea, do you want to close us on out for our interview section, ma'am?
Yeah. So again, Sydney, Sarah, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening on our podcast. And we love to ask all of our guests the same question. So we always ask people, why is it that you decided to join Toastmasters? But we're curious to know, why did you maintain your Toastmasters membership? So every 6 months you renew your membership. What is keeping you in our organization as a member?
So I can jump in and answer that. First of all, it's the friends I've made for sure, but I have an insatiable desire to grow and improve myself, and Toastmasters aligns perfectly with that. I'm able to challenge myself at whatever level I am able to do at that moment. If it's something at a club level, something at a district level, and I love having that opportunity.
Thank you.
Nice.
I think I can piggyback off of what Sarah said. Is continuous improvement in myself is definitely something I'm a big fan of, and I personally believe that life is a journey. The way God has shown me how to grow in different ways, I never would have imagined His grace would be so good, and I give Him all the credit for it. And sometimes you start something, you fall in love with it, and you never expect it. The simple answer is I got bit by the Toastmasters bug, and and for now I'm just going to camp out here and see where I can go, because as I mentioned, the people are half the reason I'm a Toastmasters, and continuous improvement, and the fact that it aligns with my own core values. Actually, I got here in my pocket. Pull this out as a little table topics thing. Lavinia actually gave me this. I don't know if they can see it from this filter, but Lavinia gave me this coin, and I was like, "Oh, this coin's really cool because it says integrity, respect, service, excellence." Some of the things that are dearest to my heart. So I think these are the kinds of things that motivate me the most. That's the other half of the reason I like Toastmasters so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. We cannot wait to see what you guys do in both Division A and Division E. So congratulations on a great year coming forward. And we're looking forward to seeing great things coming out of your division. So thank you guys so much.
For your service.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Sydney. Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Sydney. Bye, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Take care.
Nice. I wrote down a couple of things.
Yeah, and it's really good to see both of them are first-time division directors, right? And
Correct.
that's something that I feel the district needs, as in it
Mhm.
provides different perspectives. I feel
Mhm.
like every administration builds on what the previous administration established, and it provides new perspectives and ideas. And I was just
Yeah.
happy to see that we got
Yeah.
two new division directors that were willing to take the plunge, and that
Yeah.
inspired some other people.
One of the things, and I believe Sarah was talking about this, is just making those small incremental changes. So I think, especially with us coming out of COVID and a lot of the things that we had to adjust to, being in the virtual environment and just different way of doing business, I think that we kind of get inspired in a good way to want to do all these different things, but then you have to really take a look at what's in front of you and what you can actually accomplish within your program year, and then kind of setting that tone for the next person that's coming in. So I think that's a great advice to all leaders, not only in Toastmasters, but in any industry. Just look for the low-hanging fruit and celebrate those small wins, and that can kind of help you build your momentum as you continue to do great work in your area. So good luck to them.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What great
Yeah.
leaders.
Same. All right, so what we got next, Johnny?
Turn it over to Don.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, as my fellow co-hosts know, this is our next segment, which is called We Learn. And this is a bit of a twist from our previous What We Learned. What we're going to talk about here today is what we learned with District 40 events or activities are going on. So again, what we're going to be doing is sharing a little bit of what we learned in spirit of District 40 Toastmasters. So let's kick it off first with you, Althea. What did you learn lately?
Well, as we kind of kicked off at the beginning of our episode, we are one episode away from completing our first program year with the podcast. And with that, we're hoping to grow our family by asking for our members who would want to be a part of the podcast to join us. So last week in our newsletter, there was a little blurb about the podcast and application for those who are interested. So I just want to quickly kind of cover for individuals who are interested in being a part of our podcast. Here are some of the requirements for that. So to be considered as a co-host for the co-host position for the podcast, the following requirements are needed. So the member needs to maintain active Toastmasters International membership for at least 2 consecutive renewal cycles, be a member in good standing of a Toastmasters club in good standing. The individual must demonstrate general knowledge of Toastmasters International and District 40. So if you've served as a club officer or a district leader, that experience is also welcome. You would commit to 1 year of serving as a podcast co-host, and to include recording podcast episodes once a month, like what we're doing this evening. And finally, you would need to use appropriate recording equipment, such as a microphone, headset, desktop, or laptop computer. So there is an application that we're asking folks to complete, and anyone who is interested in being a part of the podcast team would just need to reach out to the administration manager's email address, and it's administrationmanager@d40toastmasters.org. So we are welcoming applications. If people have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. But this has been a great experience for me personally. Getting to work with Doris, Johnny, and Don has just been a dream. I've learned a lot. Being a part of yes, I've expanded my vocabulary, but I've just been able to connect with a lot of Toastmasters across our district. And if we didn't have this podcast, I don't think that we would be able to have done that. We were actually able to interview our international president. In our first year as a podcast group, you guys, we interviewed on our podcast Toastmasters International President, Matt Kinsey. So I think, we've kind of hit the ceiling there. I don't know how much higher we can go beyond that. But, it's just been a great year, and I want to kind of keep that momentum going. The interest is there. We got a lot of great feedback from the members. So we're just hoping to grow the family. So anyone in any of the divisions throughout our district, if you're interested, please reach out to us and we can chat about you potentially being a part of our podcast. So I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you, Don.
Thank you,
Yes.
Althea. And you can have the fun that we have. We have a lot of fun
Right.
on this podcast. Again, you can experience it yourself. So take this
Yes.
opportunity. So thank you, Althea, for that.
Sure.
Doris, what have you learned
Yes.
lately?
Well, I've learned something that I'm going to make a goal this coming Toastmaster year, and it came as a result of something our international president said about evaluating. And he said, when someone asked for his opinion or a evaluation on something, he says, what type of evaluation would you like? Would you like a straightforward, direct evaluation? Or would you like me to hem-haw around? What type would you like? And if they say, well, hem-haw around, then he says, I'm not the person for you because I'm going to give you a direct evaluation. So
He sure
let me recommend you to someone else. And that got me to thinking, the reason why I asked them about their leadership style is I think that if we knew our leadership style, we can communicate that to our, I don't want to say subordinates, but to our people,
Correct.
to our, reports. And that way they will know how to deal with us, and then we will know how to deal with them. So we would ask, what type of feedback would you like? Or what type of leadership style are you? And if they say I have a direct leadership style, then I know then I can't come to you and say, well, on Tuesday, July 3rd, I did blah, blah, blah. I need to come and say, here's the situation. This is what I think we should do. What are your thoughts? So you just want to give people the direct answer. And I think we can solve a lot of problems if we knew exactly how to communicate and deal with people. So I said, I'm gonna work on this for myself this coming Toastmaster year on my leadership style, and then trying to be intentional on asking people, what type of feedback would you like? And then try to give them the feedback that they would like, and then try to find out what type of leadership style that they have so that I know how to better communicate with them. I mean, International President Matt Kinsey said that this has helped him tremendously. And so that got me to thinking you could probably communicate with people much better if you actually knew these questions up front. And I think that works not only just in leadership or business, it could work in your family or whatever. You can ask your spouse, so how do you want me to answer this?
Yeah.
Maybe not your spouse. And she said, does this make me look fat? How do you want me to answer that?
You look beautiful.
Don't
That's what I
answer.
say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't answer that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to try to be intentional about working on my leadership style and trying to better communicate with people in their leadership style, or what some in church would say, their love language.
There
That's
it
what
is.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Awesome.
what I've learned today.
So Doris, I
Focus
actually
on.
love that. And I think my approach would be a little bit different for me. So I want to practice that style that I don't feel most comfortable doing, right?
Yeah, that's a good.
Not to say that I'm not being truthful and honest, but I think I more so care about how the receiver is going to receive the information versus just kind of sticking with the facts. So I'm going to take your challenge. I'm going to make it a little twist for myself and try to practice that communication style that I'm not quite yet comfortable doing, and try
That's
to
a
find
good
Love
challenge.
it.
Also,
Love it.
try
I
to find
love
opportunities
it.
where I can be more direct in my communication style so I can build that skill. So thank you for
Yes.
inspiring that
I
for me.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it when people focus on improved communication in Toastmasters. So look
That's what
at
it's all
both
about.
of you guys.
Yes,
That's what it's
I
all
love
about.
that is what it's all about.
That's great.
Splendiferous.
It is very splendiferous.
We changed the word of the day.
Well, I know you guys just changed it.
Sydney changed the word of the day.
I love it. Speaking of
Thanks, Sydney.
adaptable, right? That's right. We have to be adaptable to our audience.
Adaptable.
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of Mr. Adaptable, the eponymous adaptable Johnny Randolph.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
We got
There
two
it
word
is.
of the days, right?
We got two
Yeah, we
of
can do
them.
either. We can do either.
We'll run with it.
And what did you learn, Johnny?
Okay. The program year, it is coming to an end. Can you guys believe
What?
I
It
know.
is.
Crazy.
Where'd time go? I tell you.
it? But it has been a spectacular year in
That's right.
District 40. Just think about it. Some of the things we've
Mhm.
done. Webinars,
Mhm.
contests, conference, a
Mhm.
podcast, and
Hey.
Yes.
much more. While there's still time in the year, that finish line is rapidly approaching.
It is.
And at District 40, we still are going to have some great events coming up.
Mhm.
And next year, we're going to have even more great events coming up. It's going to be a fantastic year. Now, the question is, how do you find out about all of these wonderful events that are transpiring across the district?
How do they, Johnny?
One of the great ways to publicize events that are occurring is through social media.
Mhm.
District 40 has social media platforms. And what we're going to do starting from the remainder of the year is really to begin to leverage those social media platforms. And if you're not aware, we have a Facebook page. It operates a little differently than our Facebook group where we post our own pictures and things, but we have an actual page that can come specifically from the district that will notify us about all of those fantastic events that are going to be coming to fruition for the remaining of the program year and the next program year. We also have a Instagram page, D40 Speaks.
Nice.
D40 Speaks on our Instagram page. It is going to capture with pictures and videos all of those great events that we have attended throughout the year. We'll get to see how you enjoyed those events and have video and pictures to chronicle those specific momentous moments.
Love it.
In addition, we have another one. Twitter, right? I know there's some stuff going on in Twitter, right? Twitter, yeah, a little bit, but District 40, we have a Twitter page.
Toastmasters and Twitter.
Who
Yeah,
knew?
the district will be able to succinctly articulate some of these great events within 200 characters or less. You can
Yes, I
come-
love it.
Succinctly.
Yes, you can come to our Twitter page and find out what is transpiring. And for those of you out there who are eponymous, I just said it. It's not used correctly.
Hey.
It's not used correctly, but I just said it because it sounds professional. We
That's
have
right.
we have a LinkedIn page for
Oh
all
my
the
God.
professionals
What?
out there. You have a
Oh my
LinkedIn page, and District 40 has a LinkedIn page. So these are just a few of our social media profiles where we are going to
Wow.
leverage for the remaining of the year and going forward into the next year to help keep you engaged and informed about all of the events transpiring across District 40. And who knows, we may have some surprises coming forward too. So if you're out there, you're listening right now, you're listening to this on YouTube, like us. Like the
Like us.
District 40 podcast, because this feeds the algorithm. So when people go to YouTube and they type in, how do I be a better speaker or communicator or leader? Our image will come up and you'll see not just the podcast, which is amazing, but all of the other great videos and moments that we have. It is a great way to grow the district. So what I've learned is District 40 has multiple social media platforms, and going forward, we're going to leverage them to help support you and your goals and grow the district. That's
I
what I
love
learned.
that.
Back to
All
you.
right.
That's great.
It's a lot
That's
of good
awesome.
stuff
There's
there.
no excuse not to know what's going
No,
on within
that's
the
right.
district.
Absolutely.
No
No
excuse.
excuse.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Speaking of no excuse of knowing what's going on in our district, we do
Yeah.
have a splendiferous event coming up here pretty soon. And that's on June 24th. We will have the one, the only Toastmasters Leadership Institute. Can I hear it from my fellow
Woo!
co-hosts? Yay! If you
Yeah.
have not been to a TLI, which is our nickname for Toastmasters Leadership Institutes, you have to go to one.
Mhm.
Those are wonderful events. You get so much information, and the networking is incredible at the in-person TLI. So you may have heard that we are going to be in person for this TLI. It's going to be June 24th, and the registration is going to be coming out here soon. And it's going to be via Eventbrite. Now, pre-registration is very highly encouraged because it will be at the main library in Columbus, Ohio, but it's one where they really need to know an accurate count as possible. Wendy Simmons, who is our Division C director, is going to be the lead for that. She's going to be the contact for that event. And you should see it probably by the end of the week, the registration and agenda will be posted there. But now, the group who leads these are called the District Education and Training Committee, or DETC. And they are asking for facilitators. So for those of you who love Toastmasters, and as Cindy mentioned, has been bitten by the Toastmaster bug, we would love to have you come out to be a facilitator. And you could email your name if you're interested to DETC@district40toastmasters.org. And could somebody put that in the chat if you don't
Put it
mind?
in the
Put-
chat.
put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
DETC@district40toastmasters.org. Now, be on the lookout for more virtual TLIs coming up, maybe throughout the week. More information should be coming out there, but if you're an officer, you need a plan to be here. If you're not an officer, you are encouraged, and we would love for you to still come to our TLIs. I would love to ask my co-hosts, what do you all think of TLIs? Do you ever want to miss a TLI that comes up?
I love TLIs.
Love the TLIs.
And I
Never.
used to drive in Columbus and Cincinnati whenever we used to have them in
Sure.
person. And the first time that I wasn't asked. I kind of forced it upon her. I wanted to present at a TLI. I got the opportunity to do it. I kind of begged Betty Swagger, or like she finally said yes. And
Oh,
I was
goodness.
so excited. I practiced it like for weeks ahead. I made my club only allow me to speak for one time because I wanted feedback from it.
Oh my
I just
goodness.
thought it was a great event. So I love TLIs, and I'm happy they're back in person.
It's going to
Love
be
the
in person. All
TLIs
that
back in
networking we'll be
person.
able to do.
That's
I love
what I say.
I
The
love it.
networking. Yeah.
Mhm.
And they feed us, right? They feed us at the
Mhm.
TLI. So
Which is
you
the
get
most
food.
important part.
Yes,
right,
you
you
get
get
Correct.
food.
2
Yes.
meals, right? Breakfast
2 meals,
and lunch.
breakfast and
Breakfast
lunch.
and lunch.
Awesome. Yes, I can't wait. So make sure you save the date there. So June 24th.
Save the dates. Good
So I'll turn it
job.
back over to you, Johnny, or who's going to lead us
Doris.
for the next section? Doris, right?
Doris.
Doris, over
The
to you.
next section. Well, you guys, as you know, evaluations are one of the cornerstones of the Toastmasters program. Some say it's the magic of the meeting. And why do they say that? Because how can we improve if we don't get feedback? And evaluations are where you get your feedback. So I kind of hesitated a little bit on choosing this speech because of the age of the young speaker. But then I said, what the heck? He really inspired me. I first saw him on the Tamron Hall show. I don't know if you guys know about that show, but he has been called the youngest motivational speaker ever in the world. His name is Caleb Stewart, and he's going to explain the benefits of reading, and he's going to motivate us all to do so. In this video, when he first did this speech, he was 4 years old. So this was 5 years ago. He's
Wow.
7. He's
Wow.
he's a little older now, but he first did this when he was 4 years old. So I will share here.
I'm having difficulty hearing. Can you all hear?
Yeah, I'm having difficulty as well.
Let me stop. I didn't. That's my fault. Sorry, podcast people.
It's all good. It's all
I
good.
didn't share the volume.
4 years
Yes,
old.
I know.
Motivation
Oh my
speaker.
God.
Wow. I'm really excited to hear this.
Here we go. This time it should work. All right.
There we go.
Thank you for having me. I am here to speak to you about the importance and benefits of reading. I personally read every day and absolutely love the adventure of reading. I will stand before you and speak with confidence and not be afraid. Reading every day has made me smarter. Reading has also strengthened my vocabulary and language skills, allowing me to pronounce new and big words without even thinking about it.
Oh my goodness.
Reading has incredibly enriched my long-term memory, enhancing ideas, thoughts, and problem-solving skills. Reading aloud to kids daily and helping them develop our literacy skills is one of the most important things parents and teachers can do. Although books are excellent tools for reading, it's one of the best tools for knowledge. Kids should be encouraged to cultivate their imagination and find other materials and read, such as
God.
newspapers, magazines, restaurant menus, or maybe billboards wrapping down the hallway.
What
After
in the world?
all, reading different materials could spark their kids' curiosity and expand their understanding of the world around them. It could also be a pathway to better speaking skills, better grammar, the ability to understand written words, and learning sounds and make words. One day becoming a confident reader like me. But most importantly, keep reading fun with no pressure. So I ask you, what motivates you to succeed? Well, for me, I read. That's my superpower. Try it. Read a good book today and you can see. Opening doors to possibilities. Read a good book today and you can be anything you want to be. A lawyer, a doctor, or maybe a priest. Just never give up on what you believe. Always dream big and read. Cause reading turns dreams into realities.
Yes.
Read a good book today with confidence and courage. And always be encouraged. Have you ever had someone tell you can't? Don't listen. Because Matthew 19:26 reads, but Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So never, ever let anyone tell you can't. activate your imagination with
Yes.
no limitations.
Yes.
You
I love
can.
that.
If you want to be a lawyer, you can be a lawyer. If you want to be a doctor, you can be a doctor. If you want to be a pilot, you can be a pilot. If you want to be a teacher, you can be a teacher. It's not about them if you can. Free yourself from negativity and surround yourself with only positive friends.
All
With
right.
strong aspirations and with high expectations. If you believe you can, then you can. Because guess what?
What?
You're worthy of all great things. The sky's the limit.
I love those.
Don't let anyone tell you different. Hold your head up high. Change your mindset and expect more. Focus on success and don't worry about the rest. Speak positive.
Yes.
There's power in the tongue, and don't listen to the nonsense because
Come
your
on now.
best is yet to come.
Come on, Mr.
Caleb
Caleb.
Stewart, and I approve this message.
Oh my God.
So I just want to start off by saying, while I think of myself as a talented speaker, I'm such a loser. At 4 years old, I just
Oh
wasn't.
my gosh.
I just wasn't there. I just wasn't there. My parents
What?
failed me because this guy is actually evidence of what is possible.
Well,
and
yeah.
this didn't meet the standard. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, that's what you feel like. My parents failed me. Oh
My
my
parents failed me. Nobody encouraged me to be giving motivational speeches
At 4 years old?
Yeah,
motivational speaker at 4 years old.
Doris, how are we
He's
supposed to evaluate
9
this
now.
one?
He's
Oh
9.
my word.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Every time I thought he was done, he
Nope.
kept on going. He had more. It's like, how can a 4-year-old have all that in his
He had some
mind?
gesturing also.
Big
And
gesturing, yes.
He gave them things to do. You do it like me.
I know,
Yes.
repetition. He had great repetition
Yes.
as
He
well.
did have great repetition.
Oh my gosh.
The only
My
thing
fa-
that scared me was that he was standing on
Falling
the,
On
end
the
of
table. That's
It's
it.
like, you could tell his feet did not move
Hey, one
a
bit.
muscle,
No.
an inch.
I
His
think
feet
why
didn't-
that's why they
It's
gave
like,
the
don't
sat
fall off the
behind them.
table. That was the only
Yes.
thing that worried me. about
That was my only critique too, Don. I'm like, oh, maybe let's factor in some safety here, but like
Yeah,
this kid's amazing at 4.
incredible. Yeah, it's just incredible.
Now
What
he's
he say?
speaking
What was the quote
everywhere.
he said? He said, "What cultivate your imagination with no limitations."
Yes.
How does he know what cultivating?
Right.
Come on,
Because he
like,
reads a
really?
book
Bobby
every
is still
day.
bitter.
Every day.
He
I know
Bobby
Johnny's
is still
still
bitter.
bitter.
Every
I am.
day.
I am. I'm not.
It's like
I'm
he's
not,
still mad at his parents now. It's just like,
I'm not handling this well. Like I'm not.
You should just
A
send
book
the link to
every
this speech.
day.
Just
I
send this
wanna know
link like
who's
Mom
gonna-
why.
I want to know who's going to get him a Toastmasters application when
Right.
he's 18. Yeah.
He's a future Toastmaster.
Do you have to
Say,
be at least
absolutely.
18 years of age to be a Toastmaster?
Well, by the
Yes.
time he's 18, he's got 15 years of public speaking.
Right.
Basically,
Right. It's like
he's gonna get his DTM in 2 months.
He
right.
was very inspiring. I thought, oh my God. That's what I was saying too.
Yeah.
How does he know those words?
I know
And
when
And
I
how
was
he
that age, I was
memorized that
scared.
5-minute speech.
Yes, to be in front of a
Exactly.
crowd of people, like he was very confident. I think
Yeah.
in his hand, I'm not sure if he had like cue cards or something, but he didn't use like. I'm thinking they were cue cards, but he was just phenomenal. I just don't know what to say. At 4, I was just blown away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Very
for everybody
inspiring.
who's nervous at your icebreaker, just think this 4-year-old's already doing it.
And he told them too, I'm going to speak with confidence and not be scared.
That's right.
That's actually a really good idea, Johnny. Maybe at like your open house, that could be a video that they show the attendees to inspire them. Like if a
Yeah.
4-year-old could get before a group of adults to talk about the importance of reading, you can do it too.
I was
You can
just
do
being
it.
snippy because my
You
eye.
can
So
do
he's still mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You're going
that's-
to write,
yeah.
call your
I
parents
wasn't being
tonight.
positive, but
What is
thank you
wrong
for
with you?
finding the goodness in.
That That would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Althea, because I didn't have it. I didn't.
I see.
Calling his
Goodness.
parents tonight. What is wrong with you?
Here's an
Help
idea.
me.
We need to find out where he is so we can invite him to the
To speak at the conference.
2024 District 40 conference. How's that?
Ooh.
Yeah, because he'd
That'd be
be
pretty
what,
cool.
9 now? 9.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember about 6 years ago, we had a 16-year-old come and he spoke about the youth leadership programs that we have.
Nice. Nice.
And so
Nice.
that was really neat. I still remember his name was Cody. And he came to the
Mm.
District 40 conference to talk about youth leadership programs and how it changed his life.
We
love
should
that.
actually do that because that would
Mhm.
bring in the youth, right? The kids.
I
too.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a
what a great
plus.
selection there, Doris.
Yeah, that was really good, Doris.
You really made Johnny very mad, and I enjoyed that.
I'm not.
He said I enjoyed that. It's okay, Johnny. You're still great. You're still a great speaker.
We still think you're splendiferous.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's real anymore. I just don't. I just feel like I just
You're
don't.
so cheated, aren't you? You feel cheated.
I do.
Oh no.
We still love you, Johnny.
But he was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that was wow. That was
Mhm.
impressive.
That's pretty incredible.
Pretty neat.
Did a good jobs. So back to you, Johnny. What's
Yeah.
next?
Don, what you got to say before we head out, good sir?
Well, another awesome podcast.
Awesome.
I love my co-host, and again, I look forward to our next one. So again,
Oh.
hope everybody has a great rest of the week and rest of the month.
Yeah.
Althea, what do you have to say, man, before we head out?
Yeah, same thing, man. I'm kind of sad that we're at the end of our program year with this podcast, but I'm definitely looking forward to what the next program year has to offer. And like Dawn said, I wish you guys a great rest of your week and month, and we'll see you in June.
Awesome. Doris, do you have anything to say before we head out, ma'am?
Yeah, great guest, great co-host, great banter, great
Great.
show. And
Yes.
I'm looking forward to our next episode. Everybody have a great week.
I echo the sentiments of my esteemed co-host as well. June the 27th, that's the 4th Tuesday in June. We will be back. Same bat time, same back channel. For everybody that's out there, as Althea pointed out, we are looking for co-hosts for the next program quality year. So reach out to her at the admin.
Yep, administration manager at d40toastmasters.org.
Okay, and we've got the TLI coming up in approximately a month. So all you officers, you attend. It's the first time it's going to be in person. And even if you're not an officer, even if you want to learn the values of leadership and learn how to run a club, you may be thinking about being an officer another time. You're welcome to 10. And like Doris said, we'll give you free breakfast and free lunch.
Come for the food.
Right, come
Stay
for
for
the
the fun.
It's interesting. we say
Yes,
that.
I love that.
Remember, Matt Kinsey said the first meeting he ever attended,
He came for the
attended because
food.
they have free lunch.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Don't forget about your elections, though. That's another good point.
Oh, that's
Oh
good.
yeah, that's
your
right.
elections.
That's right.
hold your elections in your club. So just a lot of things coming on. We're going to finish out the year strong, and we look forward to seeing you guys next month. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. We will talk to you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, District 40.
Bye.
Take care.